Hi, welcome to Sunny Day Stamping. I'm Julie Baca and I'm so glad that you're here. Today we're going to be making a card together, but what I really want to show you is a quick and easy way to make a background for your card. Just a striped background and just those classic stripes that go with so many different cards. And the way we're going to do it is going to make it perfectly coordinated with the cardstock and inks that you've used. For the measurements for today's project and all my other projects on YouTube, there's a corresponding blog post where you can see additional photos, you can get all of the measurements, and you can also purchase supplies right from there. So you can go to sunnydaystamping.com, or there's a link in the description of this video that'll take you directly to that exact project. If you are my email subscribers, you'll be getting this print and make project sheet in your email. And if you'd like to get this, you can sign up for my email list, and there's a link in the description also. These print and make project sheets are just one page where you can have your measurements, some written instructions, the link to the video. You can scan this QR code, which will take you directly to the blog post where you can access the photos and the video and all of that. All right, let's get started. So here's a closer look at our card that has those classic stripes that just make it so eye-catching. You're going to be able to use this with so many different stamp sets. I will show you what I'm using to make this specific card though. I'm going to be using the textured floral stamp set, which you've seen me use in a lot of different projects. I absolutely love it. It is perfect for beginners. It is perfect for non-beginners. This card is just a little stepped up. You have to have a cut and emboss machine to cut out these different images. So that's why this isn't really a beginner project. You gotta have a little more supplies, but this die set coordinates perfectly. It's gonna cut out this big flower and these leaves, but it also has these awesome foliage pieces that really, when layered with the stamped images, just really make it look amazing, but with very little effort. Now, as you can see, we're using a white card base and just white paper. We're just using white, but we are going to do a little heat embossing for the greeting because I just really wanted that to pop out. Now, our color scheme, I just love this color scheme. So no matter if you're not using this stamp set at all, you can definitely use the color scheme and just mix and match these colors on the flowers to just have it look beautiful. So we're using Soft Sea Foam, Fresh Freesia, Daffodil Delight, Berry Burst, and Calypso Coral. Now, we're not using all of these on one card. I'm just saying if you want to use, make a bunch of different cards, these colors go together really well, and I'll show you at the end all of those examples. So we're going to start out by going ahead and doing our stamping so that all of the pieces to our card are ready to go. And you can see I'm just stamping these on a scrap piece of paper so that we can easily cut them out. And we're going to be using obviously a different color scheme here. Now I'm going to do one of these small flowers here, but we're also going to put one on the inside. So let's go ahead and stamp that right now too. This stamp set comes with this tiny little inside for the flower, and I really do want to add that black piece because it is just going to pick up that black from our greeting. Now, before we put these colors away, go ahead and just put one little flower on your envelope so that that is decorated and is going to match your card perfectly. And then grab your card base. And when I use, this is just a note, when I'm using a white card base, I'm going to use the basic white cardstock thick. You can buy it in thick and thin, and when you buy it thick, it's going to be as thick as your other colored cardstocks from Stampin' Up. So you can see I'm turning it to the back because I just want to put one flower on the back. Now we're going to finish up our stamping by choosing one of the greetings in here, or if you have another stamp set, you can choose a greeting from there. And we're going to heat emboss it on a piece of black. I love how this looks. I think it makes any card just really look extra classy, or just add that pop of color and richness that it just looks so great. So when you are doing heat embossing, you want to use Versamark ink, which is just a sticky sticky ink pad. And I'm not going to have the measurements for these greetings, because what you're going to do is you're just going to stamp towards the bottom of a scrap piece of paper like this, and then we're just going to cut it down afterwards. So while that ink is wet, you're going to cover it with embossing powder, tap it off, and then we'll heat it up to melt it. Now, I didn't explain, this is, before you do that, rub it with an embossing buddy. It just prevents any fingerprints, oils that would make this powder stick in a stray area that you don't want it to be. Now you're gonna warm up your heat gun, and then you're just gonna start on one end of your words, kind of rolling the heat around, not keeping it in one spot, and you're just waiting, you're just watching for that to turn a nice deep white and start melting. There, do you see it starting to melt? As soon as it starts to melt, move it to another part of your words, and then turn the heat off right when it's done. I sure hope that wasn't out of focus the whole time. All right, there we go. Now, the easiest way to do this is just to grab your paper trimmer now and just trim around those words until they are just how you want them to be. Now, the last little prep work we need to do is just to cut out all of our stamped images using the dies that coordinate with this stamp set. Now, you can stick these down with a piece of low-tack tape, sticky tape, washi tape if you want, or you can just very carefully set the top on there and just, I'm holding this tight. I'm really squeezing it hard to keep those in line so they don't shift, but really it works pretty darn well. See, those cut out just so pretty. We've got one more pass through the machine. Now on this pass through the machine, we're gonna cut out that second flower that's gonna go on the inside of our card. And then you're gonna cut out the greenery for your, oh, I picked the wrong ones. Hold on, I'm gonna pick, I really, really love this one. I just think that's so pretty. So I use it on every card. So now the color of your greenery, you wanna pick it the same as the stripes. If you want it to just, I don't know, I kind of wanted it to blend in a little bit so that these flowers really pop out. Now this intricate one, it doesn't always pop out right away. So I just kind of hold it with firm pressure between my fingers and just kind of pull the excess paper away a little bit. And I just kind of work slowly and work around it, because this is a delicate piece, but that's why it's so pretty. So it's definitely worth the time to just kind of work this way out. And then if there are pieces on the inside, just poke them out with take your pick tool, or if you have a toothpick or something, and then it releases those just perfectly. So now to create this really easy striped background, I just grabbed a Stampin' Blends marker or pear. There's so many different ways you can do this. I find the Stampin' Blends markers like really, really easy to use, and you guys know I like quick and easy. They've got this great brush tip, which is gonna be perfect for this, and you could also use this bullet tip to do some accent. So just pick one color. Now these three colors I'm going to put on the supply list because they're going to coordinate with all the colors that I chose for this project. So you can just pick which ones you want. So for this example, we're going to use the green. Now Stampin' Blends markers are alcohol markers, so they bleed through. So grab yourself a piece of scrap paper, and then grab your white piece. It's on your project sheet. The measurements, I think it's 5 1/4 by 4. And you're just going to just make stripes, and don't worry if they're wiggly. Don't worry if they're slanted. I think that the beauty of this is that this is a handmade card, and so they're all going to be different. So just kind of gently just go across your paper. One tip is do not start at the top and do not go all the way to the bottom. You want to leave some white in between, and I'm going to come from either direction. This marker looks like it needs to be replaced. It's kind of light, isn't it? So you can just go, and you can see that I'm starting off my paper and going all the way across. I'm going to show you why. I'm going to grab a blue marker. I think it'll be easier for you to see. So if you just start on the edge of your paper here and make stripes, which works, but you can see that it kind of leaves just some harsh marks there, harsh marker marks. So I found that if you start off your paper and swipe all the way across, it just looks better to me. Maybe I'm being super picky. Am I being super picky? I'm too close to the project. All right, so let's go back to decorating this background. So for this card, I just use wide blue strips all the way down. So this one I did light, let's see. Yeah, I used the light seafoam. Now I'm going to go back through the dark seafoam and I'm going to put a dark layer right underneath each stripe. So it just adds kind of like a double stripe. You could also, in one of my examples, I used the bullet tip and put just a thin line in between each of these. So, I mean, you can do whatever you want, any pattern you want. And that's the thing. What's going to make this look great is you're making a background that matches your inks perfectly, but it's just a classic, stripes, which goes great, especially with florals on top. I think stripes look awesome. Now, before we put our markers away, we've got to decorate the inside of the card. We're going to just take these same stripes and we're going to put them on the inside. I'm just going to do 2, I think. Did I? Oh, I did the dark. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. You can handle this, Julie. Okay, and we're going to just put a light underneath like that. All right, so now for the inside of our card, let's take that one extra flower and you're going to put it right over your stripes. I liked it extending up above, and we'll just glue this right inside. So here's the back, and see, it's going to coordinate with the front and it's going to coordinate with the envelope. I don't know. Am I the only one that just makes me so happy? Okay. So happy. And it's just like so easy to do. It just takes you like 1 extra second to put those extra details on there. So, and I think this looks awesome, having white on white. It just creates that tiny bit of shadow, and then it really makes this inside just really pop out. All right, now let's add this to the front, and then we'll build our floral arrangement right on top. So you want to glue your big flower to the leaves here. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the leaves like this, and attach this big flower and just let that sit a second till it dries. And then on the back of the greeting, the small flower and the big flower, we're going to put Stampin' Dimensionals so that those babies pop up. And now just mess around with this, see where you want things, move things around. Now that you, and then when you have it exactly where you want it, then you can glue it all down. So I like to kind of just like pretend and move things around and then do it. Okay, so now I know I kind of want it like this. So I'm going to start by gluing this one down here. I'm going to move this stuff out of the way. And so I'm looking, okay, it's a little bit off of center, so I know kind of where I want it, and it really don't matter. Okay, so now, tip, use your silicone craft sheet. This thing's like $6, but worth like $1 million. I love this thing. And I'm just going to put a little bit of, okay, not a million, but it bugs me. Messy crafts bug me. I know some people like really like it. I just can't handle it. So anyway, this makes my life just easier with crafting. So I'm just putting just a dot of glue on some of those leaves, and I did way more leaves than I needed to just because I was chatting away. Okay, so you don't need that much because you don't want to put glue on these top ones. I want those up off the paper because look, you can see it's creating that shadow and you want that. That makes it look awesome. It makes it look like a real leaf. Okay, not real, but you know what I'm saying. Where did we put this? I've been chatting so much I totally forgot. Okay, we're gonna see. Yeah. That looks good. Okay, so for this one, I'm just gonna put glue like on these bottom leaves here. So I do want to show you one thing. The reason why I love this mat, like if I had accidentally like squeezed way too much glue, like don't put that on your card. It would go everywhere. I can just wipe it on here. That is going to dry and I'm going to be able to rub it off. So it's better to put it on here than even on your scrap paper, because your scrap paper, you're going to like set something down on it. Believe me, I do it all the time. So I love this thing. All right. So now that I know where I want my big flower, I'm going to take off the backings of these Stampin' Dimensionals and just pop this beautiful flower right there. Oh no, so gotta be careful. I extended past my card a little bit. That'll be okay, but don't extend past too far because then it won't fit in the envelope and you'll be so sad. Okay, so now let's put on the greeting. And I'm just using my take my pick tool to take off those Stampin' Dimensional backings. This is another tool that I love, and it's like super cheap. It's like 11 bucks or something. So worth it. All right. Now this little flower, I liked both of my flowers extending onto that greeting. Now you can leave it like this, or you can add some pretty things. And take your pick tool, this swivels out, flip it around, and now you have a spatula for picking up these. I love these little rhinestones because they come in big, medium, small. And use one of each on your card, big, medium, small, and it's going to look awesome. Put them in like 3 different places. It really doesn't even matter where you put them, and they look like they go together. It looks amazing. You can add 3, you can add 5. I don't know. Seems like odd numbers are better. All right, let me show you the rest of the cards. So for this example card, I used Balmy Blue for the lines. This one is Soft Sea Foam, and now this one is Fresh Freesia. And you can see I used a thick line with the light Fresh Freesia, and then the dark marker, just a line across. So you've got thick and thin, dark and light. I think that looks so interesting. And Stampin' Blends come in a pack of 2. You get light and you get dark. And they're for coloring, like shading, but it works well for this too. And so here's another Soft Sea Foam one, and I used just a different stamp from that textured floral for this. And lastly, I just wanted to show you that you can make these horizontal also. And so I didn't put stripes on the inside of this one either, but it looks so awesome. Vertical or horizontal, depending on what your greeting is. Oh wait, I knew I had made another one. I made so many examples, I lost them. Okay, so this one is a thick light line, but with a dark line going down the center. And I think that turned out really awesome too. I put out a new video every Thursday, so thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, you can click the thumbs up. You can also hit the subscribe button and click notifications so you get notified when a new one of my videos comes out. I appreciate you watching so much. Have a sunny day.